can you put a clause in your contract that stops the recipient of the services providing or making a disparaging statement against you? Wow, interesting question. Stick around and I'll tell you. G'day everyone, Simon here from the Contract Company. Contracts is what we do all day, every day, and sometimes overnight. Lucky us, we've been through a lot of contracts, probably got a lot more to go through before we retire as well. So you are a service provider and you want to know if you can put a clause in your contract that stops the recipient of the services that you provide from providing or from making a negative or disparaging statement about you and your business and your service. Can you do it? Well, you can. Should you do it? No. Why? Well, the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, the ACCC, has power under the Australian consumer law to void any clause in a contract which it deems to be unfair. Which a court deems to be unfair, which the ACCC obviously thinks a clause is unfair. They take it to court, and the court or the judge works out whether they also believe it's unfair. So under Section 24 of the Australian Consumer Law, the ACCC can go to court and get a clause struck out. So when it comes to statements in contracts or clauses in contracts that prohibit negative or disparaging statements, 4 times the ACCC has been to court in the last 2 years and 4 times they've won. So twice they've taken builders to court where the builder had in their standard residential building contract a statement that basically said, or a clause that basically said, if you make a statement that is disparaging and negative about us, then you as a recipient of the service appoint us as your attorney, and we can then have under the power of attorney that we then hold, we can have those statements removed from, Google, Facebook, wherever the review or comment is made or has been made. So 4 times the ACCC has taken those sorts of statements or clauses to court, and 4 times they have won. So you can try and put something like that in your contract, but should you? Would you? I wouldn't. It looks bad, right? I mean, if I was reading a contract for, if I was reviewing one of those contracts for one of those building companies and I came across a clause that basically said, P.S., you're not allowed to make any negative or disparaging statements about us and our service, I would be running for the hills. I'd actually be a bit concerned because that would start to make me wonder, well, why would you need a clause in there if you provided good services? Pretty obvious answer to that one, isn't there? As in the clauses in there because maybe they don't provide good services. So anyway, it's a salient, I think, point to note that, as people put more and more faith and credence in online reviews, you need to be careful how you handle that whole review process in your contract, because you don't want to be seen, you don't want to put in there, it's more than being seen, you just actually don't want to put in your contract any sort of contractual clause that prohibits what people can and can't say about you. Make sense? Hope so. Sounds fair. If you have any questions or queries, feel free to get in touch, simon@contractcompany.com.au or 1-800-355-455. And if you like this video and learned something, maybe you'd give us a subscribe. And if you know anyone that needs to hear or should hear this information, please feel free to share the video. Anyway, hope that helps. Thanks very much.